Tedi. I have an awesome intro, so I don't really need to keep going. I'm a content creator, person, human, eats food, drinks coffee, and I'm here to talk to you today. So we're going to start with the next slide. I had an awesome meeting with a speaker coach for Creative Mornings, and we decided to obviously make my talk around blossom. So we'll be following the stage of a prairie flower that's fruit seed through sprout, seedling, flowering, etc. So we start at the end of 2023, and as you can see, we have some barren ground. So I was really struggling. My husband of 8 years ended our marriage, kicked me out of our home, and ended my career as well. I will cry. It's okay. I moved into my mom's house, which was fertile soil. I was a seed. Next slide. Bam. I was a seed looking to sprout, looking to grow. I had no direction at all, and I felt like I had died. So if you want to continue with the metaphor, it very much felt like all the nutrients that I had, all my community, all my purpose was taken by, let's say, a weed. I didn't have any of that anymore, and I very, very much relied on my community around me. Not much different than the community here today that you all utilize. So, next slide. I'm sprouting now. So this is now January of 2024. It was about 2 days after my ex ended everything. I moved in with my mom, and CBC radio invited me to be on to talk about my new thrifting series that I had just started to reconnect with myself. So I didn't feel like I had much for me anymore. So for a few months, I started going to every single thrift store in Manitoba. I'm still not done. That I will finish. I'm planning on finishing by the end of the year, hopefully. I have to make it up to Thompson, so it's a journey. But regardless, I was doing something for myself again, doing something that I enjoyed, and people took notice, and that was very, very validating, especially when I had no ability to have internal validation. It was all from people around me. So I felt like the nutrients of family, friends, connection, validation were coming in. That water, that sunlight, whatever a plant needs to grow, it had arrived. Next slide. So now I'm growing. I'm in the seedling stage. This is March of 2024, and I landed a job at Richardson International, which is just over there, and some of my coworkers are here today, which play a huge role in me being able to be happy and healthy over the last year, those people. I felt like I couldn't achieve much, and the fact that I even got a job felt like a big deal. And I know that seems silly now, but my self-confidence was at an all-time zero. I didn't believe I was capable of much, and to be given a chance to work at a company and share my creativity was an absolute treat. I was nervous though, because I had been self-employed for my entire career, and it was just going to be a huge shift. I didn't know what it was going to be like. And turns out that consistency and that ability to go to work every single day, meet with people, collaborate, have community, wear wacky outfits, that really was a big part of me remembering who I was and who I had given up to try to make somebody else happy, which obviously don't do. So at the time, I also bought a condo on my own. So the job let me get a loan, which was really awesome. And I made a video sharing my story of what had happened with my business. And I posted on TikTok. So I talked a little bit before about my series, but I kind of expanded my ability to make different content. And I went a little personal and shared my story. The video got almost 1 million views and 100,000 likes. And it was scary, of course, but again, extraordinarily validating. I had no idea that the situation that I was in was so abusive and that I had given up so much of myself until all the comments were like, narcissist. I was like, oh, oops. Didn't see that coming. So I suddenly understood the value that I had again through not only just the real in-person connections, but the ones online, the ones that I had eventually will build into a community of support system. So this is a growth spurt. So next slide. I'm flowering a bit now. I'm a tiny little flower. And I'm strong. I have roots, as you can see, but I'm still not the strongest I can be. So at this time, the summer of 2024, my father, who has been in addiction for all of his life, came back into my life. So there's been a few times where he moved in and out of my life due to his addiction, and this particular time would be the last, as he flew from the Dominican back home. We brought him home. That's where he was living at the time. And eventually, I need to explain it short because it's a long story. But at the end of the day, we took care of him. We did everything we could to try to support him and get him out of addiction. He got sober because we made him. And then he decided not to stay sober and not to stay in the country. And so he decided to leave back to the Dominican, and within days was in the ICU and died. And I, again, shared my story online and connected with the people around me. And the community that I had, people reaching out to me and experiencing the same thing, the impact is hard to understand, hard to explain. Even just sharing that I had mourned my father long before his actual passing was really validating, because I almost felt insane. I'm like, I don't feel that bad. Like, my dad just died, but I'm like, I mourned my dad many years ago. And people from all over the place, not just Manitoba, not just Winnipeg, validated that experience. So my roots aren't that strong, and I don't have a slide for this, but imagine it's like aphids or something, or like winds. I work for an agriculture company. You would think I would know what would affect a seedling, but I do not. Just imagine. Imagine. So next slide. I'm supposed to have one more slide, and I forgot to put it in, so go back. Imagine a really big flower now. So now I'm even more of a flower. I've made it through difficulty, and in fact, it's made me stronger. I can do more. So at Richardson, at my job, I really came into my own. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and I was promoted before a year and started what I felt was a leadership role. And it just felt right. And I really realized what I was capable of. My freelance work in photo and video really took off, and clients really valued what I brought to the table, when I fully believed it was my ex-partner that people wanted, but it was actually it was me. I did my first paid partnership on TikTok and Reels with Pig City Car Co-op, and rumor has it Tourism Winnipeg wants to work with your girl, which is really exciting. I photographed some images of Adam Lowry that made it onto a billboard, which is really exciting. And I couldn't have, if I looked back when everything was falling apart, there is absolutely no way that I thought that I would have success at all, no matter this level of community and joy and success. So I am extraordinarily lucky. So now we can go to the next slide. So where are we now? It's fall, and I know that this is a global organization, but Blossom to me seems a little bit weird in the fall. That's more of like a spring situation, and for us, huh?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Something you play, right?
Yes, I was going to say, because I heard earlier it was from Colombia. So for me, it actually makes a lot of sense. So this season of blossoming and falling back is kind of where I'm at now. So spoiler alert, my last day at Richardson was yesterday, and I've decided to go forth in a new adventure. And I'm a prairie flower that is planning on moving west. And trying a new thing, which I will say it's kind of funny that just a couple of days after my whole life fell apart at the end of 2023, 2 days later, CBC and I were talking on the radio just that quickly. And just like this situation, I ended my job, and this morning, the next day, I am here speaking to you, which is an incredible opportunity, and again, validation that I have something to offer. So that's basically it. You can press the next slide. So that's it. I am stronger and more resilient than I ever thought I was capable of, and I'm very excited to take all the community that I know Winnipeg and Manitoba have to offer and bring it to another province and be with my partner out there. And I have a very strong connection, and I may cry just about Manitoba. I love it here. I love the people here. I love Winnipeg, and I will miss it greatly. And thank you. That's it.